But when the snow falls, we want more of it. I'd kill for snow, brother, but currently out here walking in the rain. But it's time to review Season 1, Episode 4 of Snowfall. And I think by this point, we kind of are hitting the midway filler point of the season. I think this episode was... I mean, it's not that it was uneventful. I mean, there was a lot that actually happened in the grand scheme of things, but at the same time, a lot didn't really happen. I mean, you essentially cover two storylines. Franklin and his wee pal get rid of Darvel's body. Well, attempt to, at least. And then, on the other hand, you've got Teddy heading into the jungle, essentially to track down Alejandro. We meet a few new characters. Again, are they the greatest characters of all time? Not really. Introduced to a kid, all that good stuff. But the episode essentially begins with Franklin and his wee pal going on a magical mystery tour, and they're like, right, well, we need to capture Darvel. They managed to get a location on Darvel, and then essentially what happens is they get to his apartment, or his apartment. You wish it was an apartment? I say wish it was an apartment. I mean, depends what you want, man. Do you want an apartment in a really rich city, or do you want a big a big detached house in a big city? That's the big question here. And essentially Darvel's got that, but they find a car, and it's like, well, that's what he spent all his money on, among other things. But the car's looks pretty expensive. Will they be able to sell it? Who knows? But they break in. There's hookers. There's guys lying on the floors. Everything. Darvel collapses. So what they do is they fire him straight into the boot. We then cut to Teddy. He's going through some jungle. I didn't quite catch what it was, like Guatemala or something, who knows. But essentially he runs into this kid called Popeye, who's the lookout for the group. Popeye's like, intruder. Teddy's like, shut your fucking mouth, kid. But Teddy manages to get there, and they all pull their guns on Teddy. And then Alejandro, that's not my name, Alejandro. Well, it is his name. He comes out and he's like, Teddy, how the fuck did you find us, man? And Teddy's like, well, we need to scrape the serial numbers, big man. And then a lot of dialogue here, back and forth. Alejandro's like, wait, you're still adamant about serial numbers? Teddy's like, yes. But it's like, how lucky is this Teddy guy? Because he is essentially came into the jungle here with all these gorillas who don't even speak English. I mean, Teddy speaks a bit of Spanish, so it helps, and it's like, he could have very easily got lit up here, like very, very easily. Could have got absolutely blown to smithereens. For his sake, though, he did no bad. He's still alive. He's still floating about, his big Uncle Terry. Lucky, man, because he could have died, but we'll touch back down with these guys sooner rather than later. Then we see Franklin and his wee pal. They drive Darvel to Avi's house. Avi's like, get this the fuck out of here. You want my advice, kid? Shovel, desert, bury him deep so the coyotes don't get him. I mean, imagine bringing the guy's car, right, and the guy in the back dead. Well, they think he's dead, but while on the way to the desert, the guy wakes up and he starts booting the back seats down, and then he's like, they start spraying the pistol at him. He then manages to run off, but he's wounded, there's blood. So Franklin and his wee pal give chase. Meanwhile, cutting back to the desert, not the desert, the jungle. Popeye, the wee kid, turns out he's a spy, and he's going to get killed, brother. Teddy reveals all this. He's like, he put the tracker in the tree, but he forgot to put the battery in. That's why that helicopter's been circling for days. They know it's in this rough area or something. And then Alejandro, and they essentially like, well, you know, we need to kill this kid. Teddy's like, he's just a kid. She's like, well, it's beyond that. Yeah, he's just a kid, but he needs to go because he put all of us in danger. And it's like, sad, but what do you do? You know, does he know too much? I mean, you could probably argue that. At the same time, he knows not a lot about Teddy. Teddy's a good guy, though. I've seen him interacting with a few people down here, but they head off. I mean, this is pretty filler into it, though. it's weird. Like Terry gets all the way down here to this jungle just for them for it to feel a bit filler. Yeah, it does feel a wee bit unnecessary, Terry, getting down there, but is what it is, guys. Is what it is. Anyway, moving on from that disaster, we go back to Darvel and the hunt for him. So Franklin and his wee pal are on the hunt for Darvel. They're arguing to each other, like, where the fuck did this guy went? They managed to find blood. There's this like cinder block in the middle of the desert, which is just like conveniently placed. He's sitting there, like, kind of bleeding out. But I still think at this point, I mean, it didn't look like the biggest of fatal wounds, but Franklin then goes to kill him. He can't kill him, so he gives the gun to his wee pal, and he pulls the trigger numerous times. At this point, they're very rusty. I mean, I'm not going to say they completely and utterly, like, it's not an outright copy. But this whole, like, storyline with Franklin getting his money stole, and then, like, Darvel takes it, then they end up killing Darvel. It kind of does remind me of, like, early Breaking Bad when Jesse and Walt were, like, complete and utter amateurs. So, is what it is in that regard. But that's pretty much the episode, folks. Not a lot happened now. If you're new to these reviews, welcome. Currently 6:30 in the morning, so if I sound a bit dead, that is why. Literally read this without any Wikipedia, just the complete memory. Also, I completely forgot about our wee friends, the wrestler and the brother and sister. I mean, what did they do this episode? Nothing, man. Oh, the guy they killed, and the guy rocked up 10 minutes later. The brother's sitting freaking out with his bloody LA Lakers hoodie on. Absolute filler, man, if you ask me. Anyway, I'll give this episode, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I mean, I say it's filler, right? I don't think the Franklin stuff is filler, because Darvel, you know, played a big part last episode, and it's those two getting their hands dirty for, like, the first time. But the rest of them, fucking hell, man. Like, what was going on? So, yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I think a 6 out of 10 is a fair rating. Almost at the halfway point of the season. Episode 5 will be up next. And, of course, just like every episode, I stream it. There is no time slot for me streaming it, but it does tend to be Fridays, Sundays, or Wednesdays, or whenever time I can get free time. So yeah, we've streamed 4 episodes. Come and join me in my live reaction to the show, and then the reviews are just a wee, it's just a wee chill stream. You know what I mean? I react to the chat. Appreciate all the super chats and all that good stuff. But yeah, 6 out of 10. For Snowfall episode 4. I'll be back with episode 5, live stream / review coming very soon.